Hi guys, so I decided to start making videos to put my ideas out there as I think they could be really life-changing and offer a more realistic view of the world and relevant to the things we are made of. Uh, you know, Not just opinions and stuff like that. I try to be as unbiased as possible when I look at the world, and through accumulated stuff, I think I stumbled upon some, really, life-changing ideas and a different perspective on the world. So sorry also for the quality and production quality and stuff like that. So this is the only way I could put stuff out there, not edit it as much and stuff like that, because for the past year and a half, I think, so from August last year, I've been sick, some digestion issues, which also left me kind of tired all the time and stuff like that. So now I just wanted to start making stuff in case something happens to me, or although it really doesn't seem to be anything serious, but yeah, it made me really skinny and stuff like this. So yeah, what I wanted to start talking about is something I call the harmonics of life, which is, essentially through all the things I learned, for example, I was bad with girls, and now I learned how to be good with them, and I was really bad at social interaction, and now I can be good at it if I put effort in, or I know how to do this kind of stuff. And that all came through learning a lot of this kind of stuff and observing myself and a lot of people. To me, at least, it seems that everything works logically, and there's no mysterious stuff, or emotions that can be explained logically. And I think it all, everything works logically in the world. So just because I saw, where a lot of the time ideas have an origin and it's something the person saw, or what the person constructed in their brain, or everything seems to be almost tangible. And I don't mean I see everything like that, but a lot of the stuff that I saw makes me think that everything comes from there. So this is the most important thing. And sorry, I'm a little bit not that confident, because it's the first time I do this and I need to calm myself a bit. So yeah, so this is what I call the harmonics of life. And I think because everything is logical, so everything has a, it's made of matter and everything, I think from the beginning that's how evolution started. And it's not like I have a lot of knowledge regarding evolution or stuff like that, but I think everything started, like from the simplest thing, just stuff kind of bounded together or did stuff, you know, just out of randomness, but slowly traits started appearing, and you know, the most simplest bacteria or virus, and you know, like everything had like, sorry, I'm saying like a lot. How I explain it in my head is like how you have a reflex. So bacteria, for example, you know, had a, let's say it has a pain receptor or heat receptor, and that triggers something inside of it, either by molecular or mechanical reaction through molecules or through electric impulses or something. It triggers a reaction, so it the receptor is triggered, and that triggers an impulse inside of it, and that makes it respond to that. And I think this is the basis for everything. So for example, like how we are now as humans, you know, we evolved from that. That was at the beginning, but we kept adding stuff, and now, yeah, I should really start skipping over this stuff because there's one. So basically, emotions and stuff like that are just a more advanced form of that, and we, you know, we keep it's like we keep building layers on top of layers in regards to this. So first there were, you know, viruses, bacteria, then bacteria was unicellular but became multicellular, then multicellular organisms are, let's say, life forms, modern life forms, complex ones, and those that work together, you know, the modern complex life forms work together, you know, like two bacteria or something, and you know, everything works molecularly and through reaction, and you know, there's a contact, there's something there that through which the complex system works. And I think emotions and stuff like that are just the stuff through which, you know, like talking is very similar to an electric impulse between a cell and another cell or something like that. You know, it's just something that holds the whole thing together, which in our case is society. And yeah, this is and I think we can really map this kind of stuff, you know. We can map it on a model, you know, like how this different stuff works, you know, like a model of a resource model, so based on molecules. And I think we can also map on this, you know, all the different emotions we have, and of course some of them will be a bias because, you know, how we are, you know, we decided to get married and only two people be together and all kinds of stuff, you know, from tradition and all kinds of stuff like that. And this should have put more stuff in there that which shouldn't be, you know, in normal healthy people, you know, and yeah, also our sexual reproduction stuff also made us behave a certain way, and based on that also I think another couple of emotions and traits would have appeared. And yeah, I think we can map. I kind of try to, and it seems to work, but it's really, you know, it's really extremely complex, and but it seems to be real. And I think once we build something like that, we'll really know, we'll find out a lot about us and stuff like that. But yeah, this is one of the most important things, and I think one thing that results from this, and I try to check it a lot, but it seems that good behavior will become the norm. So we are headed towards good behavior because or essentially bad behavior will become more and more, we'll get sick of it, and until we say enough is enough, and then even that is unacceptable, and bad behavior will be unacceptable at smaller and smaller scales. So yeah, and this is also a consequence if you think it on the resource, on that resource model, because everything bad that seems to that happens, somebody killing someone or somebody stealing something from other people, those are fuck, this has also another thing. So yeah, it's, how should I put this? So it starts, I'll also put in the description a post regarding this, so it's hard to explain and I'm losing ideas. So I think most of the stuff it comes from selfish traits, which were, it goes back to the starting of life thing, and at first, we needed to have selfish traits to survive, but then we kind of learned to collaborate between us, so we can survive, have a higher chance of survival being in a group. So yeah, but yeah, that goes to that. But yeah, again, bad behavior, although I think most of it has that origin, and also there's intentional good behavior and bad behavior and unintentional good or bad, because they seem to be what's good or bad seems to be relevant only to life, and only what life you take into account, because if you go outside on a walk, you say it's a good thing, but if you stepped on an ant, then for that ant it would be a bad thing. But as we only think of us, yeah, that's another thing. But going back to bad behavior, so most of it seems to come from selfish origins, but also there's psychopaths that they miss that trait in them that keeps them in order like all the rest of us, and it's like a broken robot, and that makes them that selfish people or people who do bad things, that makes them the stuff without those ties, you know, like we talked before, those things that keep society together, you know, like the cells in a body that makes the yeah, they do the bad stuff, and the bad stuff. So for example, in essence, bad behavior is a waste of resources, if you really think about it, you know, because again, with the resource model of how we see society and people and everything, so when you steal something, it makes, you know, so everything works, let's say, in an ideal society, because yeah, the current one is fucked up, you know, with capitalism and everything like that is, or this form of it seems to be. So if it was ideal, you know, everything is, we are like a well-oiled machine, then everything works together. And when someone steals something from another person, that creates a disruption in that system, and you know, that makes the other one person lose stuff. And for example, if they don't have insurance, they could end up on the street, or you know, it creates distrust in that person. Essentially, that bad behavior creates a disruption in the well-working of the system, and it can involve just that person if it's, you know, that person doesn't really have ties with others, but it usually involves a lot of people, because everyone is connected, you know, to their family and friends and stuff like that, and it creates a disruption, you know, that person becomes distrustful, and talking with others also make them more distrustful of other people, and that creates a disruption in that area where, you know, all of a sudden people don't want to do stuff together because they're extremely distrustful. And as I think the world kind of shows, you know, more countries with higher standard of living, where people, you know, have all their needs met and stuff like that, kind of became really trustful because they have everything. And sorry, it's tiring and kind of hard to explain, but yeah, that so I can't really prove this, but it really seems to be the case, you know, and that distrust in the web of the society, in that area where the bad thing happened, affects the system, you know. And when you have bigger problems, like, you know, today with the health, no, not the health, the wealth discrepancy between the rich and the poor and stuff like that. I don't know where I was going to say, but yeah, bad behavior, if you look at it from a resource point of view, it's a disruption to the well workings of what people do. You know, everyone wants to do all kinds of stuff, and you do stuff for other people, you do stuff for yourself, and when someone does a bad thing, or essentially affects that well working of the system. That is the bad thing. Something bad is something against life or the stability of the system, and that's late stage capitalism. And yeah, just go on the subreddits and you'll get sick of it. And yeah, as a response to this, just so I am against the current form of capitalism, but yeah, I think we should really put value on what is important to society. And someone like Jeff Bezos doesn't get all that money essentially for pitting city against city to offer him less of a tax, so he doesn't have to pay tax and stuff like that. And yeah, we should really, and yeah, what I wanted to say with this, that's where we are headed, so towards a perfect utopia, if we don't die because of climate change or some other stuff like that. So yeah, but I'm gonna do videos regarding this and talk a lot about it, and hopefully don't repeat myself too much. And yeah, also maybe I'll start streaming in the future and also talk with you guys. And yeah, I'm aware I don't have anybody following me now, but yeah, just I'm sure something will come of this. So yeah, this is the first thing, and there's a lot more. So this is the harmonics of life. Everything works logically. There's this system that ties us all together, which includes the emotions, traits of people, how they behave, and that all create the stability of the system of society. Which and every time we let a problem stay in the system, something bad happens. And until we get sick of it. With China and communism, coronavirus happened, and with it's sort of exaggerated, but also that happened with Chernobyl, and with the police in America. Everything in this work seems to work by this logic that once we have enough, and we get to the point we have enough of a problem, and we decide to act, although that was also China's involvement, and technically I'm not really sure about that, but that's besides the point. So it seems to be that every problem in the system creates a disturbance, and that disturbance can, if it's big enough, can disrupt the whole stability of the system, like the virus. And that seems to apply in everything, like the stability between the relationship between you and your friends and family. And you can look basically at any problem in terms of that, and eventually, if you keep it that the problem doesn't rise or something, maybe it wouldn't affect the stability of the system. And I'm not sure how this stuff works. I'm not sure if there are some kind of laws or stuff regarding this, physical laws, something in physics that can tell you something about that. But yeah, so this is the first thing, the harmonics of life. Then and that means just as a side effect of this also includes optimization, but I'm also going to talk about that a bit later in the video. As a side effect of this resource model and what matters to us and what we do, so good behavior will become the norm, and essentially we're headed there if we don't die of something, you know, like climate change or who knows. Yeah, so a utopia awaits, and it will get there, and if life dies here on Earth, anywhere in the universe, this is what I think, anywhere in the universe life will start. Again, it will start with the same origins, selfishness, then evolve to collaboration in groups, and that's, I think, the only way to survive. And as we are made of molecules, it doesn't matter for another alien to come here to steal what we have or what we're made of, because, you know, if you make an exact copy of him in molecules, you'll end up with the same thing, you know. So I think there's no reason to be, you know, selfish and want everything to yourself logically. But again, I'm gonna get into that stuff more into the future. So yeah, so this is the harmonics of life. Then I will also be talking, but I'll just kind of skip over this for now. So about Similarity, which is an app I started designing for meeting people based on what really matters in life, and I really mean what really matters. And as I try to really think about everything, every bad trait, eliminate every bad trait from showing its head, you know, in the app, and making an app that really, you know, is good at this and that would work. And yeah, but I'll skip over this one for now, as I am really starting to feel not so good. So yeah, that's an app I started designing to, yeah, for meeting people. Okay, and I'll leave links for this stuff in the description. Then social interactions, you know how I mentioned they were logical. I think the camera got a little bit blurry. Yeah. So, but I think I'll end this for now and maybe make a part 2. But what else I'm gonna talk about? Maybe just a short summary. You know, everything in regards to humans seems to be optimization and that kind of stuff. You know, everything we do, you know, we want effortless interaction between people. You know, optimization seems to be in everything we do, if you think about it. And I think it's another side effect of the resource, because we're resource model, you know, because we are made of resources, and to do more with what we have, you know, you kind of have to not improvise but optimize. And yeah, I think you can find it in everything, you know, football, sports, everything, you know, because, you know, for example, if you optimize the body to be good at something, you know, it offers an advantage over the other person, and then you know, you're more able to win the game and stuff like that. And yeah, it seems to be anything. Then another thing, I think I found out a better, you know, better way to learn skills, you know, like how to use your body better, essentially, to learn skills and basically uh, be more, use more your peripheral senses instead of your vision. Stuff like, you know, touch and everything, to learn stuff because they seem to be more accurate than your vision. And also you, and maybe the peripheral vision can be used too, but I'm not sure how slow that is. And yeah, but I'm gonna get more into that kind of stuff. But it's really amazing. Yeah, and I think that's kind of it. So I think I'll make part 2 to this and discuss more about similarity and social interactions, you know, and yeah, learning skills, you know, and yeah, that's kind of it. Wasn't too cringy after all, but yeah, I really have to. Yeah. So I think I'll post this.